Hello, peoples of the internet. So today I thought I would do a video on taking back our light. So this is a topic that someone had asked me to cover, and I thought it probably is a very good topic to cover. And I'm probably going to pull in a couple different healings into this one of information from the past. And so the first healing that's coming to me to speak about today is a healing that I did maybe 2 years ago. And I was working directly with a child client who was being quite violent and was threatening violence, not against me, but against someone else. And it was triggering my ethical right to tell someone about the threats. And I stressed about it that night about, should I say something? Should I not say something? Because as a therapist, you're always sort of riding a line between confidentiality and protection. And so I was stressing for a good portion of the night. And while I was stressing during the night, I went to bed stressing. And in the night, I had a dream. And in the dream, I envisioned it was me and the child. And I was facing the child. And as I was facing the child, I heard the Godsource say, you don't have to take on the darkness. And I was just curious, and I was like, what do you mean? And it said, you can clear the darkness from yourself. And I started to clear the darkness. So I was just alchemizing and pushing light through my body. And as I was doing that, I could see the child just disappeared at this point in time in the dream. And I could see over in the corner of a room was a black box. And the Godsource said to me, you think that black box has your light inside of it. And it was like all the people that have taken our light. So all the people that have done wrong to us, been mean to us, cruel to us, people that we've given our light to, out of love or thinking that we should. And the Godsource said, but Lisa, that light has your name on it. And I was like, what? And it was like, yeah, your name is on that light. All you have to do is take it back. Just say you want your light back. Just say, that's my light and I'm taking it back. It's got your name on it. That's your light. And I was like, yeah, I want that light back. Give me my light back. And I started to just ask, and I could see all the light coming. The box popped open, the black box popped open, and all of my light was coming back to me. And it was like a fear state that, somebody else has your light and you can't get it back. So as an empath, you're feeling that darkness. But the reality is that's my light and I don't have to give it away. I can make a conscious choice to keep it. And so I pulled all this light from that black box back into myself, and I could feel myself just getting full of life force frequency, full of light and life force frequency. And as I did that, I remember there was a mirror in the dream, and I was looking up at the mirror. And as I looked up at the mirror, I saw this brilliant white light, the most beautiful white light. And I remember just thinking oh my goodness, that light is so beautiful. And as I was seeing this brilliant white light, the Godsource said, that's your light. And I was like, what? And it was like, yeah, that's your light. And the mirror was reflecting my light back at me. And it was like the first time that I realized how beautiful my light truly was. And I just was in awe that light was mine. And then I woke up from the dream. So what it was showing me is that your light, the light that you create inside of you, has your name on it. That is your light. And in the slavery matrix, we've been taught to give our light to other people. So say you're in a relationship with someone, maybe it's a family member, friends, and all these things. And the Godsource gave me a metaphor one time, and it said, as a flower. So if you imagined yourself as a flower, you wouldn't give away your petals, because if you gave away your petals, you soon would have no petals left. The Godsource says the flower gives away its essence. It gives away its fragrance, its smell, its essence, and it retains its own petals. And what we learned in the slavery matrix was to give away our petals. So we gave this person a petal, and that person a petal, and this person a petal. You know, we didn't just give them our fragrance. We didn't just offer the fragrance that was us, right? The essence that was us. We gave them pieces of ourselves, thinking that that's what we were supposed to do. And the Godsource says, like, don't do that. That is not the right thing to do. It's the same idea as if you give someone your heart and then you're like, don't drop my heart. Like, don't drop it. Like, don't hurt it. And then the person drops it and steps on it and stomps it and smears it. And you're like, don't do that. Well, you're the one who gave them your heart. And the key is, don't give them your heart. Retain your heart for yourself. Give them the essence that's created of your heart, right? So you can offer them your love, but not your heart. And so the Godsource had told me at some point in time that you can call back all of that light. So all of that light that you've given to others, all of that light that all of those petals that you've given away, they all have your name on them. They're all yours. They belong to you. And all you have to do is ask for them back. So you just say, God, please bring me back all of my light, all of the light that I've given away, that I was never meant to give away. Please bring it back to me fully and completely, and purify it as it enters my egg, my auric space. Purify it into the codes, the knowledge, and the wisdom that I need. And God, please give back to all the others their petals, their essences, their light. Give them back everything that they ever gave to me, thinking that that was the right thing to do. And here I am holding their stuff. And people can't hold what other people heal. People can't heal what other people hold. So we want to give back the petals. We want to give back what people have given us to hold, because when we hold it, they can't heal it. So the key is to give it back, and we are going to give it back to them in a fully and completely cleansed state, so that they can get their light back from the box, right? And all of us can get the light back from that black box. The black box can't hold your light. That's the illusion. That's what they want you to believe. And the reality is, nothing can hold your light, because it has your name on it, and you're the one that commands the recall of your light. So that's something that you can do anytime you please. And I'll throw into this one too, that the Godsource was telling me about, and people worry about when people talk about you. So maybe you have an ex, or you had a boss, or someone along the line has talked about you. So they're saying bad stuff about you, and you're feeling like, I need to tell them not to say it. Like, I don't want people to believe it. But the Godsource said, Lisa, they're spreading your seeds. So when they say your name, that story is your seed. Your name is your seed. They're spreading that around with their mouth. If you don't want them to say certain things, or you're afraid of the things they're saying, or you don't want your name spread in that way, then put love in your seeds. Put harmonic frequency in your seeds, so that when people speak your seeds, or think about you from inside of them, or your name comes up for them, all that comes up is your authenticity, your truth, your realness, love, because you're the one that gets to choose what's in your seeds. And so that's another practice that we can do. We can just intend that there's massive light in all of our seeds all of the time that people speak of us, say our name, or speak us in a story, that there's light. Light is what they feel. Light is what they sense, because we get to put the light in those seeds. So that's another story that it told me about our light. Now, the last thing I want to share is about grounding our souls into our bodies. So in the slavery matrix, it's all about disconnect. It's about disconnecting our heads from our bodies. And in disconnect, it's all about intelligence. It's all about the data brain. And what we're taught to do is not feel ourselves, not feel our emotions, not sense our intuitions, which is all the feminine aspects. So the body's the feminine, the head's the masculine. And so the key is to awaken the body. The key is to get safe in the body, and we get safe in the body by loving ourselves and giving ourselves safety in all experiences. And that's a gift we give ourselves, and only we can give ourselves that gift, because we're the ones that are inside of us. We're the ones that can access that. So when we ground our souls into our body, so when we begin to get used to alchemizing our emotions, or facing our emotions, and facing our experiences, and being present in ourselves, and loving ourselves into wholeness, and giving ourselves safety even there, we begin to know inside of ourselves that it's safe for us to bring our soul fully and completely into our bodies. In the slavery matrix and in disconnect, people that are denying their bodies, not loving their bodies, not being fully and completely in their bodies, a lot of souls are just like right up here in the face. And that's because souls exit the body through the face. That's what the Godsource told me, that souls exit the body through the face. And so when it's almost like when the soul comes into the human body, at least in the last, couple hundred years, maybe 1,000 years, the soul stays up in the face. It doesn't even go down into the body, because it's so terrified of this existence and terrified of being in the human body that it sort of sticks up here. And the Godsource was telling me that that's actually the case with a lot of autism cases. It's almost like an evolutionary jump into remaining up in the face instead of being able to come down into the body and access a full energetic movement throughout the body. So the energies are only moving up in the head and up in the face area. And so the overstimulation of the face and the head and the brain is what causes a lot of autistic kids to bang heads or hit their heads and things like that. And the key for them too is to try to pull that soul down into the body, so that that soul is all the way down to the feet. So the soul can only heal the parts of the body that it's inside of. And so if your soul's only in your front of your face, that's the only part you're going to be able to access. But when you connect the head and the body, and you connect and you begin to give safety to the soul and to the body, then you begin to connect the soul all the way down to the feet. And then the soul can access healings in the whole body, and information, knowledge, and wisdom. When we pull the souls down to the feet, we start to get full circulation of the body, and full circulation, energetic circulation of the body begins to heal the body and awaken the body and alchemize the body. Like pretty much the Godsource was showing me that immunity is circulation. So when the body is fully and completely circulating, you're going to create immunity. Immunity also has to do with safety. And so the safer you become, the more immune you become. And so in the past, what the humans would do is they would dissociate, which is the soul coming out of the body. It's going up and out, and we're doing that because we're terrified of the experience that we're in. And the Godsource said that the worst thing we can do for our bodies is dissociate from the body, because now you're not inside the body and you're not able to make conscious choice or creative choice or take care of the body in the way that the body needs. And the key would be to ground to your feet in your body, your soul, and stay present even in dangerous or scary situations, so that you can access that creativity, so that you can take creative action for yourself in that moment. And an example of that is they talk about if somebody drives off a road and into the ice, right? The safest thing for you to do is to remain aware. If you freak out, you're likely to drown. But if you stay aware, then you can get creative and find a way out of the car. And that's what they train people. And that's the same as any experience where something dangerous is happening, or you're in a fear state. You're going to want to stay regulated. You're going to want the first thing you're going to want to do for your own self and for your safety is to step back and regulate yourself. Normal human reaction is to start freaking out, right? To go into fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And when we go into that freaked out state, that's where we're going to say, okay, whoa, you're okay, you're all right, you're not alone, I'm here with you. And you're talking to your own self, you're best friending yourself, you're companioning yourself. And you just say, I'm here with you, you're okay, you're all right, we're going to figure this out one step at a time, we're going to figure this out. And then from that space, you're going to be able to get creative. And your creativity, when you're in alignment is where you're going to make the best choices for your human body, not just for you, but for the collective. So it's where we make choices that are best for not just ourselves, but for everyone else around us, because it's in alignment with the Godsource. And the Godsource will always guide you to the best choices, not just for yourself, but for all. And you have to be in a state of regulation to be able to access that truth. And so that is the best way to survive. And so we need to learn to be present to our bodies and present in our bodies in all experiences, especially dangerous and scary situations. And we do that by facing emotions and loving ourselves in that space. And so you can just ask the Godsource, please pull my soul into my body. Please root my soul into my feet. You know, I want to be fully and completely present. I will learn to be present within this human being. And that's the first process of it. Also, I would have talked about in an earlier video, I connect my head to my body. I connect my body parts all to one another. I connect my brain to my body, to my stomach brain, and I connect both brains to my whole body. Any sort of connections you can do within your body to your body so that it's all in communication and connection with one another is ideal, because in the slavery matrix we were taught to disconnect our parts of our body from each other, and particularly head from the body. And so we're going to be wanting to pull that soul fully and completely into the body. And then we're also going to want to be retrieving our light from the sources around us. Now, when we have that light inside of ourselves and we're sharing our essence, we're channeling essence through our heart. That's actually one way. It's called, I think it's called heart breath. Um, and in heart breath, you breathe out light from your heart, and it's your essence. You're pushing essence out all around you. And what the Godsource told me is that the more you push your essence out around you, the more of a protection mechanism that is. So nothing can come into the light. So when you think of darkness, darkness can't enter the light without disappearing. So when you turn on the light, the shadows disappear. And so Evie's coming in. She was out on the deck. So when we push that light out, so a healing technique or a mode of protection. So in the old day, they used to tell us to put like a protection around us, and that's one way. But the Godsource said it's better to push your essence through you, so you become the light source. And the more that you push that light out, the less that things can come into your space without, disappearing themselves or being agitated by it and leaving. And so your light is your best protection. And so that's one reason why it's really important to take time to create your own light and to push your light through you. And your light will go out as far as your heart essence will go. And they did a study on that one time, and they said that hearts can actually send frequency out as far as, I think it's a 1 block radius. So like your auric field is only your egg around you, but your heart can send out frequency that far. And that's when you hold a love frequency. So I want to call it a harmonic frequency. When you hold a harmonic frequency, and a harmonic frequency means you're in a state of peace and love and safety and presence. And a harmonic frequency is basically a Godsource frequency. That's what's at the center of the Godsource, is this harmonic frequency. So we call that love. We would call it the love of the universe, right? Or the love of the Godsource, or it's a little bit different than human love, because human love is something from one to the other. A harmonic frequency is something your heart's creating. So not that your heart doesn't create human love, but human love, that's complex. But human love tends to have a lot of debris in it, and expectation and judgment and all of those things, versus a harmonic frequency is a pure frequency. And so what we're going to want to pump out, and it's good to think of love when we're pumping it out. So when you think of the love for your pet, or the love for your plants, or maybe a time that you were with your grandma and you felt like the purest love you've ever felt, that's a good thing to begin to stimulate that love inside of you. And that love, holding that state of love, you're basically letting the Godsource through your heart, and the Godsource's essence frequency will come through your heart and create a protective range around you. So, and it'll also offer essences and codes to everything within that range. So whatever your essence or your fragrance is going to be offered in that light. And so, yeah, I hope that's clear. Some of these things are really hard to explain, but I'm doing the best I can. So I will do a release and clear those old mindsets around the darkness. The darkness can't, it has no right to your frequency. That black box cannot hold your frequency. Other humans can't hold your frequency. You might have gave them your frequency and you're thinking, oh, now they have it and I can't get it back. Yes, you can. It's got your name on it. All you have to do is call it back. You have to remember that you're in charge of your own light, and you're the one that's going to call it back. You were always the one that was going to save you. You were always the one that was going to bring your light back into your vessel. And so you were always the one that was going to stimulate the light that you thought was lost, right? And so we have to remember that, and then we can begin to access that. So a lot of this information I'm sharing today is about remembering, and it's about practicing from those remembrances. So Source God Mother, I acknowledge and accept everything that we've been speaking of so far today, including the fact that the humans were disconnected their heads from their bodies. And that was in an effort to keep us from being able to face our emotions, because emotions are energy in motion. They're actually packets of information. And so they tell you about yourself. They tell you about yourself in relationship to others or in relationship to the world. And when you face them and you alchemize them, I love myself even here, I'm whole even here, I'm safe even here, you gain information about yourself and about the world. And so, yes, I want that. And I recognize that in the past, we didn't know how to do this. And we didn't know how to do it because the more you alchemize your space, the more you alchemize yourself, the freer you get. And you have a right to freedom. And it's you that was always going to free you. And Source God Mother, I remember these teachings. I remember this information, knowledge, and wisdom at the core of my soul. I remember this, and I begin to alchemize the old modes of functioning and the old ways of existing and mindsets. And I ask that you root me into my feet. You root my soul fully and completely into this human body so that they become fully and completely one. And as I do that, my soul can access my body and begin to receive information from my body and also begin to heal my body. And as I begin to heal and receive information, I begin to have more and more ability to access my truth, and from my truth make those creative choices, conscious choices of creation. And I want that, and I choose that, and please help me with that. And please call back all of my light that has my name on it. Anything that I've given away, even by choice, I call it back to me today. I reintegrate it into my wholeness, and I reintegrate it coming through my etheric realm, cleansing, clearing, and purifying so that it's exactly the frequency that my body needs the most. And as I do this, I give back to all others all of the light that they've ever gifted me or given me, or that I took on from them from a state of what I thought was love, but was actually imbalance and separation consciousness. And I don't want to do that anymore. And I cleanse, clear, and heal their energies and give it back to them fully and completely. I also pour my love, harmonic frequency, into my seeds so that when people speak my name or tell a story that I'm involved with, all that they can access is love and truth. And I want that. Why not? That's awesome and amazing, you know? And to those people who spread my seeds, way to go. Now I'm spreading my love through my seeds. And I forgive the old way of existing, and we're not doing that anymore. I'm done that now. Otherwise, we go into panic, fear, and terror. We go into separation consciousness. We go into fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And I'm not doing that because I'm the one that pays the price first and foremost. My body pays a price for channeling cortisol through my body, for stressing and worrying. My body pays the price, and my body deserves to heal. It deserves to be in wholeness and oneness. It deserves to be relaxed and calm and regulated. And only I can choose that. And I choose that as I move forward in these good ways. I also acknowledge and accept that my heart is like a frequency capacitor. I think that's the right word, where when I step back and I hold harmonic frequency and I hold the space of love and safety and truth, I channel light through me. Essence, my fragrance comes through me, and it's a great protector. Nothing can come into that space that isn't of the same frequency or of the same light. And I don't have to depend on something else around me. I can literally become the protection myself. And I want that, and I choose that. And please help me to remember that. And please help me to implement that as I move forward in these good ways. And as we're in this space, please clear, cleanse, and heal mindsets, modes of functioning, ways of existing, toxic dynamics within and without, belief systems, binds, barriers, contracts, cords. The Godsource was actually showing me today that when people cord to each other, C-O-R-D, they become corded. That's where we begin to give them our life force frequency, or they're giving it to us. And that's that light that we're taking back. We're not meant to cord to each other. We're meant to actually disintegrate those cords. What we're meant to do is become a C-H-O-R-D, a chord, as in a music chord. And we're meant to harmonize with one another. When we're in harmony, when we're in harmony within us, which is regulation, and they're in regulation or harmony within them, we create a music chord. And that's what we're meant to do. Otherwise, C-O-R-D, chord, is like a record, a record player. And I talked about that in the past. That's where we're repeating, like the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. Snake tail. That's interesting too. And slowing down. We have to slow down. The snail's pretty slow, right? We have to slow down. And that's where we begin to access consciousness instead of this record player. These are other people's voices. These are voices of the past. And actually recently the Godsource was telling me that we're clearing the old ancestors were afraid of making choices, and they were afraid of making choices because they were making choices from the head. They were making choices from separation consciousness, from what everybody in the external realm wanted. And they've been teaching us ways of existing coming from those choices. And the Godsource was saying that we're freeing those ancestors, and we're saying you don't have to fear conscious choice. We're in a time period now where we can access our own truth, our own authenticity, our center of selves, our 0 point, and there's no fear of making choices from that space. When you're making choices from separation, you don't know what the right choice is. When you're making choices from wholeness, you will always be shown the right choices. And we can trust that. And so we free those ancestors that are trying to make us do the things of the past. Like, oh, it's dangerous to speak your truth. Oh, it's dangerous to be seen. Oh, it's dangerous to be loud. Oh, it's dangerous to laugh this way. Oh, it's dangerous to wear this clothes. Oh, it's dangerous to be another gender, or not to be your specific gender, or not to be what they taught you to be. And the reality is that was true in the past. That isn't true for us today. What's true for us today is authenticity and alignment. And so we free them. We let them go. We let them be completed in their journey or their path or their work. And we still welcome the healed ancestors, the ancestors of light, the healed helpers that have already healed themselves and know that the new way is authenticity. It's alignment. It's accessing that creativity. And that only you know what your right choice is. Each human being has their own right choice, their own alignment, and only you know what your alignment is. And only you can find it when you connect your head to your body, and you're in your body facing your emotions and alchemizing your emotions so that you can access safety and love and your center of self. And Source God Mother, please help us with that as well. And please clear those old programs and patterns back to dust. We clear frozen pain spaces, wounds of the body, spirit, and soul. And we disintegrate back to dust the old DNA and RNA, and we initiate the new, and we reconfigure the new for each unique blueprint. We clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now through all quantum fields, including all drama, karma, trauma, pulling out the dharma, neutralizing, purifying, clearing, cleansing, and healing from the cellular, energetic, and magnetic structures, and from the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious minds, pulling all of that through to oneness, to wholeness, to peace, to truth, to love. Welcoming those helper beings and those helper frequencies to continue to help, to guide us, help us, love us, hold loving space for us, as we stretch ourselves out into these spaces and we begin to find confidence and calm and peace and presence and consciousness in these spaces, and we begin to utilize them as we move forward in those good ways. We clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now, including through the children and up through the ancestral webs, past lifetimes and their webs, and for the collective universal who are open to it at this time, including all planetary systems and on all sides of the veil, including this universe and the multiverses. We quantum forgive the old modes of functioning, the old ways of existing, the old ways of being a human, the old ways of receiving information, the old ways of giving light. We clear it, and we clear it some more. We purify back to the Godsource origins. We welcome those beings of light, those healed helpers, those doctors, healers, and nurses in all realms of existence to continue to purify and alchemize these spaces and drop us into those original blueprints, those original codes, and to continue these healings until completed. We give so much gratitude and so much thankfulness to those helper beings and helper frequencies, to those healed helpers who are here with us, helping us, guiding us, loving us, nurturing us, holding loving space for us. And we thank you. We have so much gratitude for you. We know that we're working together with you. We're here in the form realm doing the change, and you're in the etheric realm helping us to evolute ourselves and clear these pain spaces within the human beings and within the human consciousness, which then also clears it for the Mother Earth and for this galaxy and for this universe and for the Godsource as a totality. And so we get to choose how we exist, and why not exist evoluting, moving forward, healing, being comfortable, creating. Yeah, I think so. And we clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now through all quantum fields, and we're opening to receive for best and highest well-being. With love and gratitude, I choose this. So I choose this and breathe. A good, pure, etheric breath. Jazz up that body. And we'll do our emotional, our energetic clearing, our energetic cleansing. So Source God Mother, please immediately evolute our bodies, spirits, and souls for best and highest well-being of the systems within us and the systems around us, including all of those beings that are within that heart space, within that frequency space, within that purification space, that our hearts are able to access and offer these healings to. And we ask that you immediately evolute our systems for best and highest well-being of the systems within us and the systems around us, including those frequencies of our feet. And as you upgrade those frequencies of our feet, as you immediately evolute those frequencies of our feet, that you ground us down into those feet so that we have everything that we need to be grounded, safe, comfortable, and accessing that vagus nerve in a state of comfort. Throat healings. We also allow for any throat healings that are allowing us to speak our truths, allowing for us to access that truth, allow us for us to speak that truth, and allow us for speaking the truth within ourselves and with one another, like Lisa's doing today. Please also root me from my red chakra, from my root chakra, down into my universal star, my earth star, my universal star. Root me into this natural kingdom, into this universe, and into the multiverses. And as I root in, please help me to share life force frequency, knowledge, wisdom, healing codes with one another. And please be with me, because the essences of the plant and animal kingdoms have been coming like crazy. Just now, a big bird flew past, 2 birds flew past the window. And I clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now through all quantum fields, and I'm opening to receive for best and highest well-being. With love and gratitude, I choose this. So I choose this and breathe. And just notice how you feel now. And if you're feeling lightheaded, you're just going to say, please ground me to my feet, to the insides of my feet. And if you need a little extra love, please trigger my vagus nerve now. Whee! Feels good. Okay, well, try practicing these techniques. If they're right for you, they're going to work for you, and you're going to know over time. Just sharing with you what's been shared with me, and happy healings to all of you. If there's anything else you would like me to share, talk about, or curiously hold spaces of, then please write it below. Please subscribe and share my videos. And until next time, I hope you have a beautiful day. You take care. Lots of love.